my YouTube channel. My name is Doti, and if this is your very first time here, karibu sana, and don't forget to hit the subscription button. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here. Today is another beautiful day. We are going to connect the dots of my mothering journey and bring them to presence. And you know, we study history to be smart in another time while we make observations of the patterns which might be invisible. And I thank God for today's parent, today's modern day parent. Today's modern parent is an authoritative parent, not authoritarian, just like we grew up. We have a lot to heal from the way we grew up. And I thank God for today's parents. Today's parents are parents who are very involved, parents who are proactive, parents who are 100% involved in nurturing and cultivating the areas of their kids. As we know, in life, so many of us have found themselves saddled with parenting responsibilities. And one thing with parenting is that nature does not choose who is going to be a parent at what point, at what time. So you just find yourself parenting, and it's not all the time you have the know-how, you have all the information, you have all the knowledge. But one thing good with parenting is that the moment you become a mother, everything about your life changes. The moment you push life out of your body, your life changes, your perspective, your goals, your thought. Motherhood comes with some sort of blessings. It comes with something you never had when you were not a parent. And that is what I have become. I've become that mother who gains strength and resilience. Am I an expert in parenting? No, I'm not an expert in parenting, but I have been there. I've grown into it for the last 13 years. I've also done other things wrong. And that is why we are here to share the journey. So what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for being in Kapkatet, the people I met there, that whole community, because they say it takes a community to bring up a child. I never did all this alone. It was, let's say, a community thing apart from my small family, my husband and my kids, and I'm grateful for them. And I'm so glad that he gave me that opportunity, and he supported by going back to school, and I'm so grateful up to date, and may the Lord continue blessing me. So me being a student, me being a mother, and also being a wife, did I struggle with some things? Of course, yes, I struggled. In campus, I struggled with my self-esteem, and it was low-key. I struggled with the feeling of I don't fit here, I'm not supposed to be here, but I never showed it. And I thank God because I had good, supportive friends, people who could buy me a banana. And when I say buy me a banana, it goes way beyond a banana, and I'm so grateful for them. They were the people, you know, as a parent, there are times you'll go out for clinics, your child is sick, you don't have a house help. That means you'll have to stay home, look after your kids until you settle your issues. And those were friends who updated me anytime I was in drawing class, when we had emergency classes, when there were extra things required of me as a student. They were there to call me, update me, and inform me. You know, as a parent, your presence in the university is required when you only have classes. So my presence in the university was minimal. So when I was there when I had classes, or I had a discussion group of a course I'm struggling with. There are courses which were not easy, like immunology, mathematics. Those were courses which they needed us to sit down and have that extra discussion on some topics. So that time you needed friends, you needed people around, and those friends were there. And I thank God, because as much as deep down I was struggling with my esteem and the feeling of I don't fit here, they never made me feel a thing. They motivated me. They were there. They supported me way beyond even my family did. And one of the greatest moments is Kapkatet as a very huge market. And on Wednesdays, we used to go for grocery shopping, and we were there, all of us, you know. It was good moments of bonding, good moments of good friendship. The friendship which was respectful, friends who knew boundaries, and I thank God for them up to date, and I wish them nothing but the Lord's blessing all the time. While at home, what was my greatest challenge with my kids? Number one, it was feeding. My kids, apart from them being hyper, they were poor feeders. It was a struggle for them to eat, especially breakfast. And that was a problem because they were going to school, they have to feed, you have to ensure them they were comfortable. And for my daughter was the smallest then. I can remember there was a point a lady sat me down. You know, we were in the village. I told me, you need to take serious with the feeding of this child. You have to blend omena, cassava, millet, and sorghum, all those to ensure that and groundnuts, to ensure that the porridge is full of nutrients. And one thing I was there thinking of omena. I do love omena, but omena was not in my culture. It is not in my. I do respect other cultures. I respect their food, and their foods I never knew when I went to Kapkatet, and I ended up embracing them because they are tasty and full of nutrition, like omena, saga, and other vegetables I had never enjoyed in my community in Okambani. So I was there thinking of omena, the whole process, and the whole process never clicked in my mind, and I just gave up with the whole thing. And Kericho had a good hospital called Unilever. That is the option I took, and my daughter kind of improved with the feeding, though I really struggled with her. So when I look at so many anonymous comments, so many anonymous questions, so many anonymous issues on the internet, I'm just here to tell mothers that is pretty normal. And one of the important questions, as I said previously in my video, is that when children are younger and you realize there is something extreme, like their activities, their behavior, the way they feed, the way they act out, the most important question is to ask yourself is, does this child have another problem? Is it in the normal valve of my child? All those things, once you consider there is no underlying problem, then your responsibility as a parent is to be involved and engage your child, cultivate and distract their attention to whatever they are doing. And that is one of the greatest lessons I learned with my kids, that they needed to be engaged. They needed to be involved with a lot of activity. And I can see my younger son grew very tall, very fast, very tall, very energetic. He had a lot of energy. So that energy had to be channeled to something else. And then there was the smaller one there, Roy, trying to fit in with the energy of his brother. And the rest of the kids I have, they are a little bit calmer. They were not that hyper. But the first two, it was hard work. I don't think I say it that way because I was younger also, but it's because for real they were, and it was hard work. And what else did I struggle with? House help. Sometimes it was hard work, boys. And my babies used to ride toy cars on their knees, and I had to also find a life hack, that was getting them jeans. And I can remember there was a time my sister asked me, why do you buy jeans for your kids? Why don't you buy them joggers or another materials? I told her I just love jeans. They look cool, the hack ones, to protect their knees. Every cloth they had holes on the knees. And then at this point in life, they are grown up and they look at the younger ones do the same thing they used to do. They're like, why don't you grow up? Can't you see whatever you're doing is not nice? Then I'm like, who are you questioning? Do you know your story? And that is how fast kids grow. From the struggle of me trying to learn and fit in their lives, they are now telling the others what to do. And that is one thing I'm grateful for. I have really, when I talk about my mothering journey, sincerely, I've grown with my kids, from maturity, from learning how to do things from 1 to 2, junkling along. I've grown with my kids. And to be honest, I want to say that I was clueless, and this is something I am never embarrassed to say. I have learned at this point in life to look back at my journey with a lot of grace, with a lot of laughter, because we are never perfect people. We make rights and wrongs, and the best thing with life is that the moment you realize the wrongs you did, the things you did right, you have all the grace within you to push through. And that is what I'm grateful for today. And my reason and my emphasis today to the mothers who are becoming mothers. Sometimes you might not know the right thing to do, but the internet has a lot of power. The internet is the tool which is bridging the gap, which is filling the gap. Google, self-educate yourself. Learn what you need to know about bringing up a responsible, intelligent child. And remember, the Bible tells us that from the book of Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6, it says that train up a child on the way to go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Remember also from the book of Psalms 23, the Lord is our shepherd. Even if we will go through the valley of death, he will be there. That remember Philippians, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That is all the energy you need. You need to embrace your parenting with a lot of enthusiasm. The moment you become a mother, you need to appreciate it. Look, when you go to sleep every night, I always tell you, look through the day, the things you did, and embrace everything. Tomorrow is another day to do another right. Try to implement the rules you are putting into your house. Be that parent who is not a permissive parent, meaning you don't implement rules and regulations you don't follow. If you set the rules, let them be followed. Be involved in your child upbringing. I was listening to another podcast, and that guy from India said that we do not raise children. What we do is we bring up, we nurture, we cultivate. The moment you say we are raising children, children are not cows. And as I finish this episode, I just want to say that as a parent, you need to have a lot of patience. That is the parenting kit which should not leave your brain and your fingertips. You need a lot of patience. Kids need a lot of patience when it comes to learning. Number 2 is that you have to be intentional. You have to be involved. You have to be there. You have to, if your child is talented in music, you have to be involved in ensuring you nurture that dream. If your child is a good dancer, if your child is good in maths, be involved in ensuring that you nurture that. The other point is you have to be supportive. Being supportive means that you say a lot of yes. And if that yes has doubts, you have to explain. Yes, I want you to do this. Yes, I want you to have this, but it is impossible. Why? Because there is A to Z which has to be considered. And the other point is be a prayerful parent. And when you make God the center of your journey, when you make God the center of your story, the moment God sees you're trying, He is always involved. And one thing good with God is that the moment you are on the valley, He is with you more than even when you are on the mountain. So the moment you feel you are in the midst of your adversities, the moment you feel you are in your deepest struggle, you are in the deep waters, you feel alone, you feel like this motherhood journey is overwhelming me, it's taking a toll on me, God is there. As long as you call upon Him, He will be there. My mothering journey from a younger age, it has taught me resilience. It has taught me to forgive. I have typically grown to the person I am today because I became a mother at a younger age. I have learned resilience. I have learned to know that, to understand people, you know. When I look around my life, I have a lot of understanding of things I never understood along my journey, but now I'm self-aware and I'm grateful. And the essence of this episode was basically just to encourage mothers and know that the things you might feel you're struggling with today, they are pretty normal. They are things other mothers struggle with. All you need to do is self-educate yourself and know where you need to pick from, where you need to do right, what you need to correct, and where you want your journey to take you to, and what you want for your child. Don't forget to bind your children with the blood of Jesus, and that is teaching them who is God, the role of God, and the purpose of God. Our purpose as a parents is to be intentional, to teach our kids who is God, because along the way they will meet a lot of influence, and the better we teach them from their informative age, that is from the age of 0 months to 5 years, the better they will grow up with core principles of life, core principles of I need to control my mouth, I need to be respectful when I have adults around me, and I need to be a helpful child. And that said and done, I am so grateful and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. Thank you so much and be blessed.